We are back again in Dallas, Texas for the newest edition of World Class Championship Wrestling Television as we approach this next month's or this upcoming event. Because the upcoming event will be the next big monthly pay-per-view as the month of February comes to a close, and that means only one thing: that certain feuds will come to a head as well. And without further delay, let me jump right into this week's episode of World Class Championship Wrestling, as King Kong Bundy goes up against Dusty Wolf in from what I can tell is Dusty Wolf's debut in World Class. And some may wonder why Bundy. Well, I'm going to change my thought before I finish my thought, and that is, if you remember a couple episodes ago, I mentioned about the fact that a lot of the heels in World Class, from the Spoiler to Killer Tim Brooks to Matt Bourne, etc., were not booked very well. And with that being the case, I chose to take this month and bring the heels back. And a few weeks ago it was the Spoiler, and then you also had, Dickie Murdoch, who I guess in a way trying to build up. And then you also have Killer Tim Brooks, Killer Tim Brooks and the Missing Link, who were booked very poorly, in my opinion, last month. With that being said, Bundy is just the end of the re-establishing of the heels that I tried to do this month, as this month comes to a close and we look forward to the future here in World Class. And now we move to the next match, as Frank Dusek and Thunderfoot 1 go up against Kerry and Kevin Von Erich. And if you want to know why Thunderfoot 1 and Thunderfoot 2 are not competing together, well, if you saw in the main event, Thunderfoot 3 was actually competing against El Hijo del Tejas. Well, the simple idea of it is Thunderfoot 1 and Thunderfoot 2 are not a good tag team together. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is their first match, it came out that much like Thunderfoot 1 and Frank Dusek, Thunderfoot 1 and Thunderfoot 2 do not have good chemistry with each other. But either way, Kerry and Kevin get the victory, and then following the match, it's their interview. And they get interviewed by Mark Lawrence about their upcoming match this weekend against the Fabulous Freebirds, and I'm going to be a little bit more particular with the match, because right now the only match that you know will be taking place is Dickie Murdoch versus Bruiser Brody, will be happening this weekend at the February Star Wars. But once again, I'm going to say that it will not be. The difference between January and February is that at this Star Wars event, the Freebirds will be in the ring against the Von Erichs, but it will not be a six-man tag team match. It will be a tag team match because, well, to be fair, I haven't decided which Von Erich will be in and which Von Erich will be out, but either Kevin or David will be defending either the Texas Heavyweight title or the American Heavyweight title, depending on who I choose to remove from the match or to put in the match. Right now, I think it might be Kevin against Kabuki for the American Heavyweight title, and David against teaming with Kerry against Michael and Terry Gordy for the American Tag Team titles this weekend at February Star Wars. But to know for sure what will happen, you'll have to tune in to February Star Wars this weekend. As now we move forward with Bruiser Brody against Lord Humungus. I will say this, that in Lord Humungus's short stint here, he's been a little, somewhat surprising, but a little bit underwhelming, and I don't really know what to say other than the fact this is the last time you will be seeing Lord Humungus, and much like the Von Erichs match, this was a building block for Brody's match against Dick Murdoch. And Mark basically asked Brody about his match, and all Brody says is, Murdoch, I don't care who you have at ringside. There's a reason why I issued an open challenge, and the simple reason is because I want somebody's ass to kick. And come this weekend, you are gonna be that person whose ass I kick. I don't care where I beat you, but I am gonna beat you. Oh, there it is. I thought my mouse died. And now we move to the main event. El Hijo del Tejas versus Thunderfoot 3. I apologize. And Thunderfoot 3 actually defeats El Hijo del Tejas with the help of Gary Hart, who distracts Del Tejas and allows Thunderfoot 3 to get the win in a shocking turn of events. And I say a shocking turn of events because Thunderfoot 3 just recently debuted, I think at the end of last month, and this is his first marquee singles win against Del Tejas here tonight as we move to Star Wars this weekend. And then Gary Hart picks up the mic. Kabuki and Kamala are at ringside with him. And Gary Hart says, Del Tejas, I've had it with you. I'm giving you the opportunity of a lifetime. You can join my army and leave that failure behind you. Lothario isn't fit to hold. Lothario will only hold you back. He doesn't know how to take care of your potential, how to groom your potential. I can make you a star. Jose would make you a joke. All you have to do is shake my hand. Del Tejas looks and swats Gary Hart's hand away. And Kabuki and Kamala get in Del Tejas' face, but Gary Hart pulls him back. And all Gary says is, "It'll be your funeral, Del Tejas. It'll be your funeral." And this is what happened. And a stare down between Lothario Del Tejas, Kamala, Lothario and Del Tejas, and Gary Hart's army is what ends this week's episode of World Class Television as we head to February Star Wars this weekend. In the Reunion Arena. But looking at the show, what is our go-home show for the Reunion Arena Star Wars this weekend, our final rating is a 71. And we increased our popularity in 10 regions. I say a very good show. And a very good show as we lead to a much anticipated event. Because this is the first time that the Freebirds and the Von Erichs will be in the ring against each other. And it will happen this weekend at the Reunion Arena with the American Tag Titles on the line. And also Dick Murdoch and Bruiser Brody in what will be a hard-hitting contest. Brody issued an open challenge at the beginning of the month, which was accepted by Dick Murdoch. And these two bulls will collide at this month's Star Wars. Also, Kabuki against Kevin Von Erich for the American Heavyweight title. And Gary Hart has promised that he will have somebody to go against El Hijo Del Tejas to make Del Tejas regret his decision to not join Gary Hart's army. All that and more this Sunday night, live at the Reunion Arena. It is February Star Wars, and it's going to be one you don't want to miss. With all that being said, I just want to bring up one thing, and that is, originally this series was not supposed to be one that was done on a consistent basis. Or, well, it was one that was supposed to be done on a consistent basis, but it was supposed to be more spread out than the other series like TNA and WCW, and at the point when this started, WWE 2015. The problem is, it was only supposed to be that way until WWE went away. I say the problem is that because it never changed. I am trying to get a little bit better. With a lot was going on for me, and I'm done with making excuses. And the reason why I sound very preoccupied is because this episode of the show has been waiting for a very long time for me to have it done, and I just finished it today. And it's, well, I'm not being fair to you, the viewer, by not being consistent. Or at least not doing videos to update you on what's going on with the series, rather than just continuing with the series. So, I'm going to say this. That if it gets to the point with certain series that I have to finish them sooner than I wanted to, I will do exactly that. Because I'm done. I'm done screwing with you and making it where it's difficult to follow and not as easy as it was to follow a few weeks or even a few months ago. And I apologize for that, but I will try to make it as easy as I will try and make things as easy to follow as they used to be. And as always, if you have any suggestions to who you'd like to see in this series or any way that I could maybe make my booking sound a little bit more together and a little less, like I don't know what I'm talking about. And also, if you want to tell me who you'd like to see in World Class Championship Wrestling, let me know down in the comment section, because I'd love to hear from you. But if you don't want to leave a comment, you can always leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time. Later.